I had a hissy fit yesterday about pit bulls. I like all kinds of animals. I really, really do. But somehow most people associate the animal you keep with who you are. This is wonderful young black kid. He's got two Doberman pincers. One is his older pincer, which is I guess reddish brown that color. Then one is black. They got two colors, reddish brown with tan, and the other one is like black with tan. And it's so fascinating how they interact. But when I think about pit bulls, I think about children having their faces mauled off. A few years ago, there was a family, young family here in Memphis, Shelby Forest, and they had two 8-year-old pit bulls that raised for puppies. But they had two kids. One was like, they were toddlers. Well, one was a toddler, like, I guess two. One was like a few months old, but not quite walking. And those two pit bulls they had since they were puppies, they ripped those kids up, like ground beef. And the mother, she fought as hard as she could, 10 minutes to save her kids. They ripped her up, and she was sent to the hospital in critical condition. And what amazes me is people who know these things, uh, they still continue to get them. There was one of my favorite comedians, his name is Bill Burr. He's like this redheaded guy. I don't know if he's from Boston or New York. Bill Burr, redheaded comedian, well shaved, but he had red hair, and he's married to this beautiful black lady. And he's he did this one of his jokes about gold digging whores, but she's not. That's his soulmate. They have a daughter, whatever. Oh, she got him a pit bull uh, to keep him busy when whatever he was at home, and she got a rescue. They had the dog for 6 years, but when she got pregnant, they both made the decision to get that thing out of her house. Yeah, yeah. I remember an incident in San Francisco where I used to work in a neighborhood called Dog Patch. That was our warehouse district. And this girl who lived in a short bus, home on wheels, and she had these three pit bulls. They looked like they were litter mates. They were all about the same size. They weren't puppies, but not quite fully grown. They looked like they'd been like 10 months, just under a year, but they were big. And I was taking my lunch break. I used to walk on my lunch break. I had a 45-minute lunch. I would go down to this little place where I would sit for 30 minutes. It took me like 7 minutes to walk to the place, maybe 10 minutes to walk to the place, 10 minutes back. So I had 45 minutes. So I had 35 minutes to sit down. And I used to carry this thing called a MYOTRON, MYOTRON. It's like a stun gun, but not quite a stun gun. It actually can render a person muscles useless. It scrambles the brain, but your heart keeps beating and your lungs keep breathing, so it won't hurt you. But it could knock you out for a few minutes. It paralyzes you for a few minutes. I bought one of those things at a couple of $100. Yeah, but in the same place I used to sit to go to lunch, it was next to a recycling plant. One day I was sitting there, and this cocker spaniel just walked up, jumped on the park bench where I was, and just laid down and had his lap in my head for the 25 minutes I sat there. Which I didn't even notice that from nowhere. When I got up to leave, it just like we said goodbye, and it was the weirdest thing. Cocker spaniel, good dog. I look at the people who get these things. I guess looking at all these kids whose faces are they kill grown-ups too, or they kill their owners too. I almost like applaud that, especially if the owner is an adult and he's intelligent, she's intelligent. To bring one of those things in your house, it's like a ticking time bomb. I sort of like applaud when they rip your throat out of the owner. Well, not all, but I can see. But anyway, yeah, I had a hissy fit. Yeah, Myotron. I looked at the thing; it's still for real. I saw some commercials about it, some 15-year-old commercials. I think I paid $200 for it. It looks like an electric shaver, and I never tested it on anybody. I assumed if it would scramble the brain of a human being and render them sort of like semi-comatose. Your heart beating, everything is good except you can't move, which is great. I've thought about using it on people when I had it. I bought one and then lost it. Then I bought a second one when I saw this girl with the three pit bulls who lived in this little schoolhouse. She was cracked out on some shit. I think it pretty much was speed. That was about, I guess, 20 years ago. I retired 14 years ago. So yeah, it was like, man, could be real. Yeah, I'm getting off that. I was reading some beautiful quotes about it. I end this. I don't like to make long videos. Plus, they're not getting out anyway. This is just for me to get this stuff off my chest and talk about things. Sleep in my eye.